It's the last time I got high. But I got high, and I went back inside, and I put on this show called 1883. It's like the prequel to the Duttons Yellowstone.
Yeah.
And so I'm just watching the show, like the first 3 episodes had released, and they're figuring out how to get these immigrants basically from what is now Fort Worth, and they want to go all the way out west. They want to get to Oregon. The immigrants do. The Duttons want to get to, just somewhere with mountains and rain. And so they set out west, and I'm thinking, like, how do these people feed themselves? There's no Cliff Bars or trail mix or any of this other stuff that we take when we hike. And I'm watching them, and as the show's developing, they're wrangling up a herd of longhorns to take with them as they head west. And so as they're traveling west, every couple days in the show, they slaughter an animal, and then they have a cook with the camp as well. And so he cooks up an animal. And so I watch all this stuff, and I'm just like, if you get high, you kind of go into the rabbit hole.
Yep.
That's about the only time I go into it, But I start learning about it. I start reading Paul Saladino's stuff. Mm-hmm. It's right at the new year, and he's doing his animal-based 30 challenge. So I'm reading all his stuff and watching it. And so I go looking for grass-finished beef in Missouri, southwest Missouri. And I find it. I found it through a raw dairy farmer, actually, that has his own little co-op set up. And I'm telling him, I'm trying to get healthy and stuff. And I find grass-finished beef. And I didn't realize how much a whole animal was. I had no concept of it, and I didn't ask a ton of questions about, like, the logistics of it. So I speak for 2 whole animals and put down a deposit. And I go to pick up all this meat, and it's like 900 pounds of meat. And I'm like, oh, no. So I start calling around, texting friends and family. This is May of 22, a couple months before we met. And before I know it, there's like a couple dozen friends and family members that want to buy grass-finished beef. So just like that, the first 2 animals are spoken for, and then I need to find more animals to keep delivering to people. So I had no concept of how I was going to get it to them. What did I have? I don't even think I had a vehicle at the point. I think I was just like borrowing friends or family members' vehicles. I had sold my work truck because I left that job site while I was sick. And I got to go out and get a vehicle. So I'm looking on like Carvana and stuff, looking for, I'm thinking I can do this all in a sedan. But once I've gathered that it's 900 pounds of meat and I'm going to have to get all these coolers, there's no way. So I end up flying out to Denver, Colorado, just days before I had to pick up all the meat. And I buy this 2012 Honda Odyssey minivan. And I've been delivering beef in that ever since.
That's the beef wagon right there.
It's
A few broken windshields here or there.
It's carried a ton of beef all over the country, and yeah, definitely a couple broken windows. One time when I was headed out to deliver to you guys, actually, but we've upgraded since. I still do most of my deliveries in the minivan, but we also do some deliveries in a Sprinter van with a Thermo King unit. And then I have a delivery driver on board now, and so he does his deliveries. He's got a pickup truck and a trailer with chest freezers on it, which I think is how a lot of the actual ranchers who have their own beef businesses do it, is they use a work truck and a trailer and outfit it with chest freezers. But, I think most people just figure out what works for them. Yeah. I started doing it in the minivan. I'd get all the meat into coolers. You go and get a bit of dry ice. You put the dry ice in a plastic bag, the plastic bag in a brown paper bag, and then your meat stays frozen for 2 to 3 days, enough time to drive across the country and get it all delivered.
Wow, I didn't realize that the business started just based off of your own personal health curiosity and interest in carnivore and red meat. And now it's amazing to think how much the business has grown. You have hundreds and hundreds of customers across the country, and it's such a great service because the biggest question we still get asked on the podcast is, hey, what are some great sources for grass-finished beef? And then you're also solving the problem for the rancher, too, where they're so focused on ranching that they don't really have time to serve anyone outside of their local community. So I'm sure that they love you because you're getting their beef all around the country, whether it's California, Texas, New Jersey, Florida. You go all over the place.